For the first time since his election, the Holy Father has begun a series of pastoral visits across Italy, aimed at showing his closeness to the faithful, to their struggles and joys. His first stop was particularly symbolic because it took place on the feast of Our Lady of Pompeii, which is also the anniversary of his election to the papacy.
Today is the day of the prayer of supplication to Our Lady of Pompeii. Our Mother Mary always wants to walk at our side, to remain close to us, to help us with her intercession and her love.
Naples and Pompeii were the first stops on the Holy Father's itinerary. The most important site is the Pontifical Shrine of the Blessed Virgin of the Rosary in Pompeii, one of Italy's most important pilgrimage sites, drawing over 3 million pilgrims every year. The sanctuary was founded at the end of the 19th century by Bartolo Longo, a former satanic priest turned apostle of the Rosary, who was proclaimed a saint by Pope Leo on October the 19th, 2025. To this day, the sanctuary of Pompeii remains an important symbol of Marian devotion and is a place where many continue to seek spiritual comfort, healing, and inspiration. The next stop in this series of visits in the same region will take the Holy Father to Acerra on May the 23rd. There, Pope Leo XIV will be the first pope to visit the heart of the Land of Fires, a name born from the frequent burning of toxic waste. The area is notorious for illegal dumping, unauthorized landfills, and waste fires that release dioxins and deadly pollutants into the air. Pope Francis was set to come in 2020, marking 5 years since Laudato Si, until COVID changed everything.
Confesso che non ci speravo più in una visita del Papa.
I confess I'd given up hope of a papal visit. My colleagues, but above all the people, kept asking me, "Isn't the Pope coming?" So I decided to try one more time, and I did. And I must say that Pope Leo immediately accepted my request.
Accolto subito la mia richiesta.
During his visit, Pope Leo XIV will meet with the bishops in the cathedral, speak privately with families who have lost loved ones or fallen ill due to toxic waste burning, tour the city by Popemobile, and together with all the residents of Acerra, recite the prayer of creation, found within the encyclical Laudato Si.
Viene volutamente per dare forza al nostro.
The Pope is coming deliberately to strengthen our commitment, to encourage us, and to bring renewed attention to the issue of caring for creation, a truly defying challenge of our time, one that will be with us for a long time to come.
Angelo Venturato lost his daughter, Maria, to cancer at just 20 years old, a disease that began in her leg before spreading to her lungs.
Our first experience with the oncologist was devastating. The first thing they asked us was, "Where are you from?" We said Acerra. He lowered his head and said, "Unfortunately, you're not the only ones."
If you reach out your hand, you will find mine. The tattoo Maria shared with her father became the name of an association born from her loss. Today, Angelo and his family run the association in her memory, volunteering every day to drive cancer patients to hospitals and treatment centers, free of charge, using cars and a van funded through donations. They also distribute wigs to those undergoing chemotherapy.
2 o 3 anni di tempo, perché non ero nelle condizioni economiche per farlo, ma non perché non avevo la possibilità.
It took me 2 or 3 years before I was ready, not because I lacked the will, but because I wasn't in a financial position to do it. Everything I had saved, I had spent trying to care for my daughter. When we finally did it, the first person I spoke to was our bishop, and he said without hesitation, "Go ahead, I've got your back." He gave his full support, and this association also exists because of him. I never could have done it alone.
In this area, people feel the fear of falling ill even more intensely. The perception of the problem runs very deep, and in some cases even leads people to avoid or postpone medical checkups.
C'è questa paura.
There's this fear, and many times people tell us, better not to know, we're going to die anyway, and it's hard to hear. In our role as a listening church of charity, words like these.
Di carità, questa problematica.
The Church is present and alive in this land marked by so much suffering. It does not leave them alone. A medical clinic, open to everyone, has also been established within the diocese's facilities.
L'ambulatorio nasce proprio per questo, per dare l'opportunità anche.
The clinic was born precisely for this reason, to offer a free opportunity to simplify things, you might say, for the many people living in the area, giving them access to care, to a visit, to a gesture of tenderness, a gentle touch from the Church.
E da parte della Chiesa.
The Diocese of Acerra doesn't limit itself to providing healthcare support to the community, but also serves as a place of gathering, sharing, and dialogue, right within the bishop's residence.
Abbiamo realizzato qui all'interno dell'Episcopio.
About 5 years ago, right here in the bishop's residence, thanks also to our bishop, we created an open space, a community space, where everything is connected, bringing together the families of Acerra's historic centre, a city just 12 miles from Naples. Many residents came, migrants, both Italian and foreign, but above all those with the fewest resources. In the historic centre, there are ground floor dwellings where the poorest people live, sometimes 10 or 15 people packed together with no proper rental agreement.
Senza un regolare contratto di fitto.
The Association for the Implementation of the ECHR ruling is also fighting for the Land of Fires, monitoring compliance with the European Court of Human Rights' January 2025 ruling, in which Italy was condemned for violating the right to life due to hazardous waste pollution.
Allora, la sentenza Cannavacciuolo prevedeva
The ruling came in 2025 and called for, in plain and simple terms, the cleanup of contaminated land. It stems from what is fundamentally a political failure, first and foremost reflected in the fact that the problem of illegal dumping had not been handled in a way that protected and preserved the health of citizens.
Non era stato gestito nella maniera da garantire e preservare la salute dei cittadini.
To this day, the cleanup situation in the so-called Land of Fires remains complex and unresolved.
Allora, la visita del Papa è sicuramente comunque un momento di grande...
The Pope's visit is certainly a moment of great courage, a surge of strength for a community that feels deeply alone in facing a problem of such enormous scale. No one can realistically believe that this can be solved single-handedly. The closeness of the Holy Father to our land is without question a source of comfort and support, and it also serves as a push for our leaders to put in place all the necessary means to address this issue seriously.
Rispetto comunque ai nostri governanti perché predispongano tutti i mezzi necessari per affrontare seriamente comunque questa problematica.